This is Nicole with Healthy Pet and talking about spring cleaning. I personally categorize spring cleaning into two main categories, indoor and outdoor. So I will start with indoor. What is spring cleaning? That's the time when we go through and we clean up all of the mess that happened over the winter that is just too darn cold to deal with. So indoor, I like to start with dog beds. Dog beds are one of those things that some dog beds are machine washable, but they still get that funkiness to them that just does not wash out with your normal traditional laundry detergent. Maybe you'll try using a stain and odor remover on it, but those are really geared towards urine and other types of biological fluids. So for cleaning beds, I really like Rock and Green activewear. So it does say activewear on it, so it does use different types of enzymes. So it does work for people clothing, obviously, with sweat and grime like that. But for dog beds, it really takes out that funkiness that the dog coat can leave over the winter months. So this is a really good additive anytime that you're going to be using something that just has that stronger odor to it. If you do happen to have a pet that peed on something, this is from the same company, the Rock and Green. This is their Funk Rock ammonia bouncer. So that anytime that a dog pees on their bed, as a dog that gets older, or you had a puppy that just had some accidents, or kitty cats, sometimes when they get mad about something, they'll pee on something. So this is some additive that you can soak anything into. So if your cat peed on like a pillow, you can soak the pillow, you can soak the pillowcase, and then you do wash as normal afterwards. You can use this also as a regular laundry additive if you have something that just, again, if you have an older animal that just leaks a little bit and you regularly wash certain towels or the beds, this will help with keeping that from having that ammonia funkiness to it. Also with spring cleaning indoors, we get a lot more allergens. So this helps neutralize the allergens that your pet carries. This is not necessarily geared towards dogs that have allergies, but for people who have allergies, and as the dogs become more active, and this is a year-round product, but you can use it especially as you start getting guests coming over more often during the summertime, and they might have allergies to pets. You use this on your pet.
What's the name of that?
This?
Yes.
This is the Nature's Miracle Allergen Blocker. So again, this is for anybody in the household who has allergies to the pets, to reduce the allergens on the pet. It breaks down the proteins that cause the human response of allergies. So not, like I said, not just spring cleaning for just the summer, but it's a year-round product. And then the other thing I really like for indoors, this is an odor eliminator for pets. We do also have the skunk formula, and I'll go into that as we're getting into skunk season again. But this is a product where it just has just a little bit of refresher. So this is like a safe type of Febreze. So if you don't use the Febreze, and it has different types of chemicals, this one is a very natural type of product. This one is safe enough to actually spray into your mouth. Again, I'll talk about that when we get to skunk. So given that how safe it is, you can spray this on your animal. We do have other pet colognes that probably smell a little bit nicer. I mean, this doesn't smell bad, but we have colognes that smell like lavender, or we have one that's called Fur Him, and it smells really nice. This is just kind of a clean scent for your animals, but you can spray it on their bed. So if it's not to the point where your bed has that really gunky smell to it, but you just need that little refresher, this is a really nice spray to use. We also smell small bottles that people will keep either in their purses and bags, or they'll keep in their car to just give their car a spritz to smell good. Especially in the summertime when you take your dog to the forest preserve and maybe they go swimming in the lake. They come in, you dry them off, but they still have that lake smell that's on them, and they impart that on your vehicle. The spritz in your car will take care of that funkiness. Okay. Now, I'll switch to outdoors before coming back indoors again. So when you take your dog outside, your dog has been going to the bathroom in your yard, most likely. And if you're like me, I don't pick it up in the winter because it's really cold out. But it is time to start thinking about picking it up. The main reason being is that dog poop, dog waste, is not a fertilizer. It can actually cause burns and discoloration for your lawn, so it is good to pick it up. And dog poop, because they do eat kibble, it's a processed food, it has over like 20 million bacteria in it. And when people start going outside and mowing their lawn, the lawnmower can spray that up and out as you cut your lawn, or just kids running around barefoot in your yard. When they step in that dog poop, it doesn't get washed off all the way and we get it into our own systems. It can cause lots of gastrointestinal issues that are not pleasant to have. So just pick up the dog poop, nice and easy. We have scented bags, so if it's a smell issue. Earth rated, they're lavender scented, so that helps keep in the odor. And we have scoops, 2 different types of scoops. There's the rake scoop. I really like this one. It's all metal construction, so if you leave it outside during the winter months, or leave it outside in the spring and it rains on it, in general, you're not going to have any sort of issues. Over the years, it definitely will look a little worse for wear, but I've had mine for probably 7 years and it's still totally fine. If you're not digging that and you like the normal conventional type scoop, this is the poop scoop that picks up off of grass. There's one that's totally flat. I don't like that one. They recommend that one for cement. And if you try to use that one on grass, usually you'll just end up like cutting the waste into like little chunks. It gets messy. So make sure that if you're going to use the plastic scoop, that you use the one that's meant for grass in your yards. But again, same thing, you just pick it up. And then if I do one of these types of scoops or with this, either way, I have a bucket that I'll put the waste into, and then I can just change out that liner in the bucket once a week when it's trash day. That way, when I'm cleaning it up once a week, I'm not concerned about flies and getting bugs because I'm keeping it clean regularly. And if you don't want to do the bucket idea and cleaning out once a week, do also use one of these, or just pick it up with your hand with the bag, using the bag as the liner. So either way, that works really well. And then as we get into spring, we have rain. So these are really cute rain jackets from Canada Pooch. We have lots of different styles that are coming in. Well, we have 3 different styles that are coming in. They're very, very cute. They're very, very lightweight. They have a little pouch right here that you can open up and put doggy poop bags into if you're going for a walk in a slight drizzle. And it has the little hole for the leash to go through. I find with its placement, you can very easily use this if you're walking your dog on a collar or if you're walking your dog on a harness, as we like to recommend. Both of those work. And if you're using a Freedom harness where it attaches in the front, you can still clip that there and doesn't cover up the T on your dog's chest. Velcro, nice and adjustable, but I really like these. I also really like these raincoats because while there's some really cute t-shirts for dogs, if you have a longer haired dog, those t-shirts tend to mat up the fur. And so if you're like, I want to give my dog some swag and look cute, but I don't want him to mat and I don't want to have to brush him out after I let him wear a t-shirt, the rain jackets, because they're more of a slick type of material, they're meant to be a little bit looser. Your dog can look styling without being matted. That's always a huge plus. So I really like that part of rain jackets. All right, so when your dog comes inside, you're tracking in all of the stuff that we're finding outside. This is also the time when people start putting fertilizers onto their yards or spraying their yards with different types of chemicals. Some dogs are more sensitive than others, and other people just don't want to track that into their houses. So the Tropiclean, Esprit, we have Earth Bath, we have multiple different types of wipes that you can use to wipe off your dog's paws when they come in, and this would be to help prevent any sort of allergies as you get pollen, because it'll wipe the pollen off of your dog's paws. Or, like I said, the fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, all the things that we're spraying onto our yards. Even if you don't spray into your yard, you'll still have the wind blow whatever your neighbors are using into your yard. So even if your dog stays in your yard 100% of the time, I still recommend wiping off your dog's paws with something. And then if they're getting muddy paws, it also helps with the muddy paws. We do carry the Dex's Mud Buster, different sizes, has little silicone nibs in it so that you can stick your dog's paws in there, and that will also clean off their paws. So if you feel like you need something a little bit more intense than just the wipes, that's a very good option. Okay, and then once your dog is inside, you've wiped off their paws, they're feeling good, shedding is a very big thing that we run into with spring. So typically dogs blow coats twice a year, and that doesn't mean that they don't shed the rest of the time. They do, but they shed even more in spring and fall. So getting that extra hair off is always much appreciated. We do offer a shedless treatment in our grooming department where they spend extra time brushing out your dog with different types of tools that they have there, and we'll go over those procedures in a different grooming oriented video. But at home, you might want something that you can use in between time, something that you can use without necessarily giving your dog a bath, or to incorporate in with a bath. So I like both of these for either brushing out the dog when they're dry or brushing them when they're wet to really get in there. Using these tools when they're wet really gets the soap in there to degrease them, and then the nubs, even when they're wet, will pull out a lot of dead hair, and again when they're dry. So both of these are fabulous products. This guy is also nice because it will take out the hair when they're dry. You can use this on yourself. So if you're wearing black and you need to get off some of that dog hair, this is a nice product for that. When they're wet and you're drying them off, you can use this to assist in drying off your dog during a bath, but you can also use it to dry off their paws when they come in from outside. So whether you're using that Dex's Mud Blaster and you need to dry off the dog's paws, or they just came in from being outside or being in the lake, this is nice to have in your car. All the little microfiber fingers do a nice job of absorbing lots of water as opposed to just your conventional cotton towel. This is a lot more absorbent. So I like this product for all those different types of uses. All right, so we went over poop bags and the wipes, bathing your dog in the summer. This just one smells really good. But using these while you do bathe your dog. I mentioned something about skunks. So we're getting into skunk season again. Feels like skunk season happens every time the weather is nice. So not too hot, not too cold, skunks come out and they breed. Generally speaking, when your dog gets sprayed by a skunk, it's in the face. And you want to get those oils off as soon as possible. Oftentimes we find that when people try to do the solutions that they find online, they're not the most effective. And the great thing about skunk odor is that you get used to it. So you'll think that you've done a great job, but it's still there. And as soon as you leave your house, people are like, oh, it smells like skunk. So we use these products in our grooming department. This is the De-Skunk shampoo. If you know that you have skunks in your neighborhood, I do recommend just having this on hand. It's not very expensive, and you can keep it in through multiple seasons if you don't end up using it all. So this is a really strong product that works to get that oil, keep it from soaking into your dog's coat, into their hair. From there, the skunk odor eliminator, even if you get this instantaneously from when the dog was skunked, there's always that little residual oil that did soak and penetrate into your dog's hair shaft. And every time they get wet until that hair grows out, they're going to have a little bit of a skunk scent. So this is a really great product that takes care of that. And again, when your dog gets skunked and they run in and start freaking out and getting that skunk odor everywhere, this is stronger than the original formula and takes out that skunk funkiness. And again, safe enough to spray in the face. So you do want to cover your dog's eyes. Dogs aren't super big fans of being squirted with anything in the face, so you can always spray some into your hand and then rub that into your dog's face. When it's the mouth, you just pop open their mouth, spray it into their mouth. That's not a big deal. Again, careful of their eyes, but totally safe for the dog's body and for their faces and their mouths. So again, anytime you know that there's skunks, be prepared ahead of time. But again, we do have skunk shampoo services in our grooming department, so we can always help you out there too. And let's see, the last thing that I'll go over, the last couple things with going over, this goes back to inside, getting ready to go outside, and not so much as spring cleaning. It's good for year round, but in the spring and in the summer, lots of people are starting to adopt dogs again, whether it's a puppy or an adult dog. These are bells, Poochie bells, and you can train an old dog or a young dog on how to use these, and these are used to have your dog let you know when they need to go outside to go potty. I don't want to move them too much because they're bells, they're pretty loud, and that's why we like them. So if you get a dog that doesn't want to bark or let you know in some way that they need to go potty, or they do the thing where they pace in front of the door but you're not by the door to see them pacing, when you can train your dog to use the bell to let you know that they need to go potty, this is a really great tool. There are directions. We can also help you out. Just a very big quick tip to always remember is we don't want to train our dog to say that just going outside is what you get a reward for. It's going outside to potty is what you get a reward for. Because sometimes we inadvertently train our dogs to go outside and get a reward, and then they're constantly ringing the bells and we're not really getting the results that we're looking for. So just keep that in mind, that what behavior are you actually marking as being good. Okay. And then again, when they come inside, I mentioned you can use this to wipe off their paws if they get wet. And if you have more than one dog and you're like, that's a really great idea, but it's a herd coming in and I need something that helps a little bit more, we do have the Dirty Dog Mat. And I talked about this item before too. It comes in 3 different sizes, a medium, a large, and then a runner size. And people will set these up by their doors so that when their dogs come in and they're all excited and happy and stomping their feet, usually you can get them to corral into one area, and then as they're standing there, you can lift up the edges and use that to wipe your dog's paws, or you might find that having the runner is enough to dry off their paws when they're not necessarily muddy, but they're just wet from going outside and having some fun. So Dirty Dog Mat, we really like that. Same company that makes this grooming mitt right here. Okay, so there's lots of different things, lots of different options, whether it's dealing with funky smelling dog beds that are great beds that just need to be smelling good. We've got skunk odors. We need to clean up the poop from our yards because of the bacteria and because it is not good for our yards. It causes the stains, the discoloration, and all that bacteria. We have the raincoats to keep our dogs' coats nice and dry so that they're not coming in with that wet dog smell, and super stylish for long-haired dogs. We have the products to clean off their paws of the chemicals, insecticides, pesticides, and wet, dirty mud. And the training bells and the Dirty Dog doormats for more dogs, or just because that's easier, whichever works best for you. So at Healthy Pet, your dog loves you, we love your dog. We hope to see you in soon and help you with all your spring cleaning needs.